not a perfect solution, certainly. Okay.
Duh.
Thank you for speaking with me.
It's my pleasure.
And if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
My name is Jadie Minhas. I go to school at McAllister College in St. Paul, Minnesota, and I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Great. So now that it's been about a month since the conference has happened, about maybe a month and 5 days, what has left the biggest impact on you? What stands clearest in your memory to you?
I feel like the biggest impact were meeting the Russian students themselves and talking about what news sources they most often used and trusted, since I downloaded some of those news sources afterwards, and it's helpful for my Russian language to hear the audio news source speak while I read the article, and to learn about the Russian side of things, like when the Russian cosmonaut and American astronaut had a rocket failure recently.
Cool. And what are your general thoughts about the conference at large? Not just the few things that stood out to you, but how has it? Have your opinions on it changed over time as you begin to live in Russia, and whatever you took from the conference, in the state of day to day?
I feel like I liked the concept of the conference and how it was implemented, more or less. I feel like the days were just very action-packed at times, though, so it would have been nice to have more chill time with the Russian students to just talk or debate with just students, more than we did on just the last day. And my thoughts in Russia has changed over time. The more I've come to understand Russian and been able to use it easier in everyday conversation, I have no chance of looking like a common Russian. So it's always interesting to see people surprised when I respond in Russian, like, "Я говорю русский язык." And I feel like I don't have the traditional, Russian, of course, I know what I'm doing experience, but I've become more and more used to the city life and the way Russians work with things.
And would you say the conference helped in any way coming to understand that, or is it something that just builds up day to day in general?
I feel like the conference helped understand more the cultural nuances because of the interaction with the Russian students, but a lot of it was also day to day, like going to my gym and talking with people there and just interacting with Russians, and Russians being like, "So, what's your president again, Trump? How are things?" And who actually won World War II? It's been interesting conversations, or people just look at me and in English they say, "Excuse me."
Okay. And what was one thing about the conference that really moved you? That really left an impact in one way or another? Could be, I guess it could be positive or negative, just,
I think the last day of the conference was really impactful. We had to write stories about experiences we had and experiences that were close and intimate with us, specifically people's family experiences and what gender roles meant to them, or someone's family members coming out of the closet, so to speak. And I'm being vague on purpose because it was told in confidence of the group. But I got to see more of who people were and the other side of things, their personal lives and not just political leanings.
It's good to hear, because that is one thing that I also noticed, in that we was very intellectual, which is fine, but life is not just intellectual. Life is much more complex than that. Yeah. And since it has been a little over a month now, do you feel that what you took away from the conference, for it sounds like, do you think that has had an impact on the way you've lived in Russia since then?
I think it's had more of an impact in that I'm more aware of what to look out for in Russia, to be more skeptical of news sources, or to actually have Russian news sources on my phone and not just American news sources, since I didn't know what alternatives there were. And the conference just helped me like get a feel for that and have someone I can talk or text to if I'm confused about something via the Russian students.
Okay, great. And you think those are relationships you're going to take forward, maybe even after you leave Russia?
I hope so. I'm not the best at long distance communication, but I'm also of the opinion that we're good friends even if we don't talk for a few months. I hope my Russian friends feel the same, but well, it's kind of a wait and see approach I'm taking.
No, hopefully. Thank you so much for speaking with me.
No problem. It was nice to be here.